Good morning, MP's Army. Welcome back to my podcast, Opinion Hated. Today is August 18th, 2017. Thank you for joining me. So today I am going to call this Faithful Friday, and I call it Faithful Friday for one reason and one reason only. It's because we have to have faith, people. We have to have faith in everything that we pursue to do. So, in having that faith, there's something that must be done in order to ignite that faith, and that is action. So, what I want to talk about today is manifestation. When you have faith in your dreams, in your abilities, in your know-how, you will begin to learn how to manifest the things that you want out of life. And I really did not believe this when I was younger, but the more I grew older and the more I learned that nothing comes to us unless you just happen to be born of a rich family, inheritance passed down on to you. Unless you happen to marry a rich man or rich woman, you will not be able to acquire some of the things that you wish to acquire. Some of those things for people like me have to be manifested and have to have great faith in accomplishing those things. So I will give you an example of some of the things that I have manifested. And you can do it too. Whatever you believe in, whatever you want to become, whatever you want to do, you can manifest that into reality. So, for instance, I'm drinking coffee, so if there's a pause every now and then, forgive me. I've been off of coffee, guys, for almost a month. I just completely gave up wine, beer, which I love. I gave up coffee, my morning cup of coffee. I don't do sodas or anything like that. So my whole thing was wine, beer, coffee, and of course I drink water thoroughly. But for a whole month, I just completely gave up all the alcohol and all the coffee. And guys, you will not believe the result. Yes, I am a woman. I have had 3 children. So I had a very slim woman, but I've always had a problem with the little pooch. But just in that month's time, me quitting all those things, that pooch of mine has gone down. So, not to disrupt the conversation, but I just had to say that. But saying that, I am enjoying a cup of coffee again after almost a month and some weeks of not having any. So, I'm going to enjoy this cup. Anywho, back to manifestation. So, I'm just going to give you an example. And I'm going to go all the way back to when I was a child. I'm sure many of you are tennis fans now that we have Serena and Venus and other tennis people who relate to us that are in the profession. But when I was 11 or 12 years old, I was in love with tennis. I absolutely loved tennis. I used to watch it on television all the time. I used to watch John McEnroe. I used to watch Billie Jean King. There's a couple others I used to watch, but I can't think of them right off the top. Navratilova, all of those folks. I watched all of them. Martina. Lo and behold, fast forward, almost 20 years later, I met a gentleman that here in Houston, I met a gentleman that comes every year to officiate what we have out here called the men's clay courts, men's tennis matches, clay courts tennis matches, because it's done on like clay courts, the red clay, we have that in Louisiana, but they also have it here in Texas when it comes to playing tennis. So I'm saying all of that to say, people, that I knew I wanted to show up. I knew I wanted to have access, or my dream as a little child was one day to be able to go to a real live tennis match. And guess who was able to do that? I was able to do that. I manifested that when I was a little girl watching Billie Jean King and John McEnroe Crazy Tale on television. And I just was like, you think about something and then you put it in your head like, one day I'm going to be able to go to a real tennis match. Lo and behold, I met this gentleman. He's a doctor, but on his side time, he would travel the world officiating tennis matches. So I met him at a bookstore, and that changed my life, a part of my life, because from then there, I was able to go to professional tennis matches that they held here in Houston on a yearly basis, starting in the year 2002, I believe it was, all the way up until now. I have been going on a yearly basis to go see professional tennis stars. I met Pete Sampras. I met the Blake brothers. I met so many, I don't even remember half their names. But, of course, they were all men because it's men's matches. But that's just an example of how one manifests something. That was something I loved doing when I was little. I love watching tennis. My dream was to go to a tennis match. So I thought that up in my brain and I conjured that up in my reality, because the universe worked with me where I was able to meet someone that had access to these tennis matches, whereas I didn't have to pay one single solitary time to go see stars. I mean, real live tennis professionals, real live stars that you see on television. I got to see them up close and personal, and actually shook some of their hands, all because I met this person that was affiliated with the tournament, and I manifested that. And that's just an example how the universe can really work for you and work with you if you pay attention to your thoughts, and you can manifest what you want. So I manifested that. Okay, that was one example of my manifestation. Another example of my manifestation was, many of you know that I'm an unconventional college student. I didn't go back to college till I was like 36 years old, but it was something that I always wanted to do. It was something that I had to prove to myself. It was something that I knew I wanted. I was not going to be content within my life if I did not at least try to do something that I had always had on my mind, and that was going to school to get my degree. And I manifested that. I did that. I not only got one degree, but I got 2 degrees. And I don't like to brag, but I am going to brag because that's a great accomplishment. And sometimes it's kind of surreal for me, and sometimes I can barely believe that me, Patrice, has a master's degree in education, but it's the real deal. And it happened because it was something that I wanted, and something I manifested, and something that I brought into fruition. Okay? Same with my books. I have a couple ebooks. You can go check them out if you like. The same with my 2 companies. These are things that I manifested. These are things that I dreamed of, I thought about, and I wanted to do, and I made them come true. And when you manifest your dreams, there's only 3 things that is required to bring your manifestation into fruition. To whatever you manifest, there's only 3 steps that you have to take to manifest your dreams. You know what those 3 steps are? Number 1, decide what you want. You have to make a decision. There's no ifs, ands, buts. What am I going to do? Da, da, da. You have to make a decision. Decide what it is you want to do at that moment. You can do 10, 15, 20, 30 different things, but in order for you to accomplish anything, you have to make a decision on that first and foremost. Number 2, you have to make a plan. You have to make a plan to reach that manifestation. I decided I wanted to go back to school. That was a decision. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. This is what I need to do. After I made that decision, I made a plan. How do I go about going back to school? Look into different schools. Look into different curriculums. What is it that you exactly want to do? Which school will provide that for you, that training for you? Once you figure that out, talk to someone. Help them lead you into registering, to signing up, to doing whatever you want to do. And number 3, act. You have to take action. Simple. You have to decide what you want to do. You have to make a plan as how to get to that point, and then you have to act on it. There's no other way. You cannot sit back and say, hey, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, but you don't have a plan to reach that goal, and you are not acting to reach that goal. So before you can even act on the goal, you have to have a plan. So those are the 3 steps to manifest anything you want. Decide, make a plan, and act. Very simple. Nothing's going to come to us, people. I know for a long time I went through life thinking why my life is the way it is. I'm not moving. My life is just, I'm stuck. And the reason was I had to learn that nobody was going to come save me. Everybody was going on with their life, living their life, doing their thing, enjoying their life, being fruitful in their life. And I had to make a decision, as we all do, and we all must realize that no one is going to save us. No one is going to save us. The only Savior we have is the good Lord. That's who I put my faith into. That's who I put my prayers into. That's who I put everything into, because it's only the good Lord who has got me to this place. I can't count on family. I can probably count on one hand the friends that I can count on. And when I realized that I needed to take control of my life. And when we all realize that we are all the conductors of our own train, so to speak, we will begin to take action with our lives. We cannot sit on the sideline and watch other people do this and other people do that and wonder why nothing's happening for us. It's not happening for us because we are not taking action. Okay? So, just to recap of Friday's faith. Again, you have to have faith in everything you do. You have to have faith in everything you believe in. Have faith that you're going to reach that point. Have faith that you're going to go to Italy one day. Have faith that you're going to start that business. Have faith that you're going to get that degree. Have faith that you're going to write that book. You just have to have faith in all of that. That faith will allow you to start manifesting what you want. Okay? So, happy Friday. Happy Faithful Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope that helps you, and I hope that moves you a little bit forward. So, if you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to comment below. I'd appreciate it. And once again, have faith in your dreams and begin to manifest your dreams. Okay? This is MP DeVille signing off. Have a glorious weekend, and I will see you on the other side. Ciao.